આજે સર વેબિનાર નું પ્રેઝન્ટેશન કરશે તો ઓવર ટુ યુ સર હવે સર તમે પ્રેઝન્ટેશન તમારું શરૂ કરી શકો
Okay. Yeah. Is my voice clear? Am I audible?
યસ સર
Okay. Namaste and good afternoon, one and all. I am very much fortunate, first of all, that such a nice collaboration has been started in between the director of Ayush, and very much thank you to director sir SIHFW for making this collaboration and given me an opportunity to deliver a talk on Ayurveda and the COVID crisis. Going to Lord Ganesha and Lord Dhanvantri, I am going to continue the lecture series. So let us start. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic is unique in several aspects and has challenged the current healthcare systems. It looks like the experience and lessons learned from the earlier severe acute respiratory syndrome epidemics appear quite inadequate, and it requires a call for better approaches and strategies in public healthcare. So, the prophylactic and therapeutic potential of Ayurveda is not really being considered that much during this COVID crisis for the prevention and as well as for treatment purpose. Now, today I'm going to highlight some of the knowledge and practices from Ayurveda that might be effectively utilized in the prophylaxis and adjuvant therapy of the COVID-19. The holistic approach of Ayurveda towards the promoting health that may be considered like Swasthvarta, it includes personalized interventions based on the host and environmental factors. Now, before starting the today's discussion, we can say or talk, let us see what we are going to learn or what are the objectives today. So, I am going to try to establish what is the relevance of Ayurveda principles in the current scenario, and what is the pragmatic or probable pragmatic outline, credible outline we can say of Ayurveda and adopting the integrated approach, because we have seen this not a single branch of medicine has given a promising effects improving or treating COVID-19. So also we are going to see some scientific and evidence-based examples also today, and simple do's and don'ts also, what to do and not to do during this COVID crisis. So we are going to see these today. So first of all, as I know, listeners are from allopathic background. They may quite not don't know that what is Ayurveda's background or how it is originated. So I have just taken quite glimpses of background of Ayurveda. So let us see the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda. Now, Lord Brahma, as we know, it is the god. Uh, he created Ayurveda 5,000 years ago. That Ayurveda is oriented almost 5,000 years ago, even before origin of universe. Now we can observe here that how preventive aspect is there also. Before creating of the universe, or we may say praja, God has created its treatment or its prevention. So Lord Brahmaji created Ayurveda and its principles for the physical as well as the mental well-being of the society. Now, one slok is there from our ancient Ayurveda text, Sushruta Samhita. Anutpadyaiva prajaha shloka shata sahasram adhyaya sahasram chakrutavan swayambhu. Here the word swayambhu is for God. He has created this much of literature for the prevention and for the well-being, for the well-being of the people. Now, in Indian culture, there are three main prime texts. We can say Bhagavad Gita, Ramcharit Manas, and Darshan Shastras. If you see carefully or observe, each and every this text has the same aim of Dukkha Trayabhighata. If you see Darshan Shastra, in the first sutra of Sankhya Darshan, it is said that Dukkha Trayabhighata. First of all, let us know what is dukkha. In Ayurveda, dukkha is known or is used as the synonym of vyadhi or rog or disease. Now, in Ramacharit Manas, Tulsidas says, if anyone reads only, just chants only the Ram shlokas of Ramcharit Manas, he will be get rid of the daivik, and the bhautik tapas. So also is also in the Bhagavad. Also, it is said like tapatraya vinashaya. So it is very clear. Continuing the same tradition, Ayurveda also says accepted the same thing. That is Dukkha Trayabhikata. In Ayurveda, there are three mainly diseases. Adhyatmic disease, Adibhautik, and Adidaivik disease. So we can consider how old is Ayurveda, and it is on the track of this Indian culture only. In Bhagavad Gita, there is one shlok, Sarva Dharman Parityajyam Mamekam Saranam Braja. The same type or parallel shlok in Charak Nidan Sthan in Shosh Nidan has been observed. Sarvamanyam Parityajyat Shariram Anupalayet. So from all these shlokas, we can observe every science, every branch of literature also giving preference for the prevention of the health, prevention of the health. So these are the prime texts of Indian culture, and we have seen its today's relevance. Though they are having background of philosophy, they have mentioned only preventive aspect as, and Ayurveda has followed the same thing. Now, intention of all three are Trayo Dukkha Vigat. By reading all these, one can have salvation. This is one belief, and Ayurveda is also having the same aim. So Ayurveda, we can say, it is nothing but the nectar or amrut only, which is the outcome of churning of Sanatan Indian civilization and the Indian culture, we can say. So this is the background of Ayurveda we can see here. And now our next slide explains that how this Ayurveda branch differ from other branches of health. Now here are a lot of things about differentiation, but I have focused only two or three here. First of all, Ayurveda is very easy to use, though it has having its own principles also. But during lockdown, if we say about COVID lockdown, so it is not easy to go outside and visit the hospital and take some treatment. But by using Ayurveda, one can easily at least do the primary treatment for shaman at the home only by using the nearby household remedies or medicinal plants. I will explain this. Suppose a patient is on a cancer treatment and he is on the chemotherapy, but we cannot say him or ask him to take chemotherapy at home. But by means of Ayurveda, we can do many things in staying at home only. At least we can say primary shaman therapy we can do at home by using nearby simple medicinal plants. I think I want to tell one thing here, but this is also by prime consultation of any Vaidyas. It may be of telephonic. So as in lockdown period, we are restricted to home. So for primary illness, we can use spices even from our kitchen or nearby medicinal herbs. We can use non-pharmacological treatment like yoga therapies and so on. A lot of things are there which proves the simplicity or ease of use of our Ayurveda. Now, one another point is there. The basic principles of Ayurveda are based on the Kalajay tradition, Kalajay Parampara. Because whatever the effects or results which Ayurveda is giving thousands of years back, the same results we are getting now also. For example, Chyawanprash. There is one herbomineral compound known as Chyawanprash. I have never heard about its ill effect or resistance or ban in market. So this is the very this proves the Kalaji tradition or parampara of Ayurveda. So as our title is today, understanding outline of Ayurveda in today's crisis. So we must understand first COVID-19 in terms of Ayurveda. Now, for COVID-19, Ayurveda has a well-designed protocol. But how to understand this disease, how to decide various components of disease, Acharya Charak has given intense protocol in 3 places, 2 to 3 places. In Charak Samhita Nidan Sthan, Pramey Nidan Adhyay, we require to know Nidan, Dosh. It is said that we require to know Nidan, Dosh, Dushya for the purpose of treatment. And one more principle is there, Vikar Vigatkar Bhava Bhav Siddhant. Now, if we correlate this Siddhant in COVID, we may understand there is one principle in Pramey Nidan, Vikar Vigatkar Bhav. That is, Vikaro ka Vighat karne wale bhavo ka abhav. So we can compare here, one can consider here the lack of immunity also, this factor which is lacking. Now, another reference is that if you don't know the name of the disease, at least you should know the various components of disease, like it mentioned in Vimanstan, Evam Namam, Evam Rupam. So at least you should know its features, symptoms. On the basis of that only one can treat the disease. Now here one thing we must understand, without comparing or correlating with modern symptoms with Ayurveda, we should first understand the disease in a proper way. As everybody is talking about this disease as a Janapadodhons. Now, Janapadodhons is a thing which can call it as a societal prolapse, and this societal prolapse occurs due to adharma done by the society, which leads to severe pollution of Vayu, Jal, Desh, Kal. Now, it should be understood in compact way that almost 2,30,000 viruses in the are there in the different zoonotic areas. But many times they came into contact due to adharma, which leads to the infection. Now you can see on the screen the multi-dimensional approach of Ayurveda. That what is the stan or origination of this disease? We may compare by the observing the symptoms. It is kapha stan udbhava. Now those who are from allopathic background, it will be quite difficult to understood this all the sthanas, margas. Then Nidan of the disease we are observing here, adharma, as just I told. What is adharma? We can say adharma is nothing but in today's scenario that is killing of animals, not maintaining the hygiene, and you are creating pollution, and thereby not following the society rules also. Then so many nidanas are there. So this is maybe considered one of the main nidan adharma. Then doshas involved in the COVID crisis. Here we may say tridosh. Now, one thing I want to share here, as I have been continuous contact with some physicians or friends in Delhi. So, two hospitals like Vedanta Hospital, their physicians' experience are this COVID. If you correlate, it is of a Vata Pitta predominant disease. And when I consulted with Kerala, some physicians in Kerala, they said it is of a Pitta Kapha predominance. So we may observe that this disease continues changing its patterns. Yes, this disease is continuous changes its pattern. So we may observe, correlate or think that the agent of this disease or the causative factor is of Vyavayi Guna. Now, Vyavayi Gun, all of my Ayurved friends know, but for allopathic people, I must say what is Vyavayi. The definition given in our Ayurveda is Purva Vyapam Akhilam Kayam Tatha Pakam Cha Gacchati. This is the definition of Vyavayi Gun. That means any agent which first spreads throughout the body and later on it shows its symptoms. And the same thing we are observing in the COVID crisis cases also. Patients are getting infected, but they are not having any symptoms. Only after examining or testing through kit, they are found positive. So it is a very actually dangerous thing. So we can observe the Vyavayi gun of the agent of the disease. Now we can see the strotas as per Ayurveda. The three main strotas are involved in the pathogenesis of this COVID-19 crisis. We can say Rasava strotas mainly, due to which we are seeing the Jwara Vyadhi, then Svedava strotas and Pranava strotas. Three main strotas are involved in this pathogenesis of COVID-19 crisis. And if you think of secondary dusha strotas involved, we may say Raktava strotas and Mahastrotas also, to some extent, they are also involved. Now, if you see the Lakshanas in COVID-19 are Jwar, Shwas, Kas, sore throat, Angamard. Now, Jwar is simply fever, Shwas means dyspnea, Kas is cough, sore throat, then Angamard, myalgia. Now, how is the nature or the swarup of this disease? The nature is Aupasagik or Janapadodvansatmak, that is, it is a pandemic. Now, the Vyadhi Ghatakas which are involved in this COVID crisis, we may say or we may predict due to Agniman, because Ayurveda has almost said the main principle that Rogaha Sarve Api Mande Agnu. So, in almost every disease occurs due to the weakness or diminished digestive fire. Now, one more Samprapti Ghatak we can say Vyadhi Ghatak is Am. For Am, it is not easy to explain in this 40 minutes lecture. Am you can compare with free radical theory here. And last factor which we can correlate as a Vyadhi Ghatak is Krumi or virus here. So three Vyadhi Ghatakas involved, Agnimandya, Am and Krumi. Now we can see this disease is very, very Ashukari. This agent is very Ashukari. This is Aupasargik. So, but how it is spreading, how the disease spreads as per the Ayurveda, we can say in the Sushrut Samhita, very simply the mode of infection is explained. You may see in the slides also. The श्लोक of सुश्रुत संहिता कुष्ठनिदान प्रसंगात गात्र संस्पर्शात निश्वासात सह भोजनात सह शय्यासनाच्चापि वस्त्र माल्यानुलेपनात कुष्ठम च ज्वरश्च शोषश्च नेत्राभिषण्ड एव च औपसर्गिक रोगाश्च संक्रामति नरान्. Now through this shlok we can understand very easily, or I will let you explain this shlok. Prasangat gatra sansparshat, you can see in the first image, two kids are shaking their hands. So by means of shaking hands, this virus can be transferred from person to person. In the second pic, you can see almost all are sharing their meals. So saha bhojanat, the virus may spread if you share your meals, your utensils. Then you last pic, you can see the two kids are very close. So saha shayya sanachapi, if you sit very close, the disease may very spread fastly. So you can imagine thousands of years ago, whenever there is no any instrument, so still it is the beauty of Ayurveda or glory of Ayurveda. So many such kinds of things were invented thousands of years ago. So how keen was the observation of that our Acharya? Now it's you can see last word of this slok, Sankramati Naran Naram. So the disease is spreading from nara to nara, that is from person to person. That's why our respected Modi Sahib has said that about social distancing, that again keeping distance at least of 2 gaj, that is almost 6 feet distance we have to maintain, and we have to wear the mask while roaming outside. That's for that purpose only. On the 1st of May, that is on the day of Gujarat Divas, we have taken Vijay Sankalp also, in which we have taken the oath like mask પહેર્યા વગર હું બહાર નહીં નીકળું, આખો દિવસ સાબુથી હાથ ધોઈશ, and we'll maintain the social 2 ગજની દૂરીની વાત હું નહીં બોલીશ. So all these things are very much relevant and very much important, as said by our Prime Minister Modi. So this has the evidence also in our Ayurveda. So this is a very very high infectious disease. Now, as per the understanding of COVID, as per Ayurveda, in the previous slide, we can suggest probable Chikitsa Siddhant as per the Strotas involvement. For Rasavah Strotas Vikruti, one can adopt Amavata Chikitsa, that is, we should take or adopt the measures to decrease the arm. Now another Srotas which is involved is Svedava Srotas. For that we can do the treatment as of Jwara Chikitsa. And as we know, the Shwas or Dyspnea, Kas is also there. So we have considered this Vyadhi as for Pranava Srotas also. So one can do the treatment of Shwasava Chikitsa also, Shwasavata Chikitsa also. So for this, what we can do, what measures in Ayurveda has mentioned or explained. Now here Ayurveda should be used as a system and not as a drug. First of all, we should understand this. Ayurveda is not just medicine we have taken and getting released. We have to adopt the holistic approach. Since last 2 days, our respected Falgun sir has also explained a lot of things regarding Yukti Vyapashara Chikitsa, how to use the Ahar and Aushadhi in combination. In the last lecture, with the Professor Anand Kaur sir has also explained about the immunity. So today, whatever I am going to express or explain or elaborate in this lecture is not about the Yukti Vyapashara Chikitsa. I am mainly going to focus on the Daiva Vyapashara and the Sattva Vajay, because almost things which come under the Yukti Vyapashara Chikitsa has been almost explained in the previous 2 lectures. So in Charak Sutrasthan, 11th topic of Tisra Ishini Adhyay, Trivid Aushad has been explained. And let us try how it is how we can correlate this Trivid Chikitsa in COVID crisis. So you can see in the screen, it is a triad of therapy, Trividam Aushadamiti. First is Daiva Vyapashara Chikitsa. Second is Yukti Vyapashara Chikitsa. And third is Sattva Vajay Chikitsa. So what is this Daiva Vyapashara, Yukti Vyapashara and Sattva Vajay, and why is it there any sequence? Why it is taken as Daiva Vyapashara as a first, and Yukti Vyapashara as a second, and Sattva Vajay as the last? So let us see. There are 3 kinds of treatment modalities in Ayurveda. First is Daiva Vyapashara. What is this? It includes the chanting of mantras, that is Mantra Aushadhi, and medicine, wearing gems, auspicious offerings, that is Bali, Upahar, then home, Niyam, oblations, gift, offerings to sacred fire, that is home, Niyam also, then Prayashchit following spiritual rules, atonement, then Upwas is there, which is considered as fasting chikitsa, Swastayana, Pranipata Gamanadi, that is chanting of auspicious hymns, obeisance to gods, visit to holy places. These all things come under Deve Vapasya Chikitsa, which we are going to see in detail today. And the second is Yukti Vipashya Chikitsa. As per the shlok mentioned, you can see Punar Aharavsha Dravyanam Yojana. We are going to see bit details of that also. And third is Sattva Vajay Chikitsa, which is known as psychotherapy in Ayurveda. That is withdrawal of mind from the harmful objects or things. So this is the shlok regarding that. Devi Vipashya Chikitsa, and these are the shloks which you can see on the screen. Mantra, Aushadhi, Mani, Mangal, Bali, Upar, Om Niyam, Prayashchit, Upvas, Swastya. So let us start from the Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa first. Let us see how it is relevant in the COVID-19 crisis first. Now, first we have to understand why it has taken as prime, or what is why it is nomenclature first. क्यों इसको पहले क्यों लिया गया है? Among three types, why it is mentioned first? This divine therapy or spiritual therapy. Now, one commentator on the Charak Samhita, Acharya Chakrapani, he has explained why Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa has been taken first in this triad. Because its mode of action can't be ascertained. We cannot ascertain its mode of action through a general logic, but it gives immediate result and it is very convenient to use. So that is why Devi Vipashya Chikitsa is taken first. Now let us see what is Mantra, Aushadhi and Manidharan Upyog is there. By using Mantra, Aushadhi, Manidharan, one can definitely generate positive vibes and it may decrease the Vishad. What is Vishad? That is depression, we can say. And in Charak Samhita itself, it is mentioned in Charak Samhita 25 only. Vishado Roga Vardhana Nam. That is, if one is facing from depression, it will take time to improve. Rather, if he is happy, it will improve fast. So here, one more thing I want to explain, Aushadhi. Here, Aushadhi, which is explained under Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa, it is not by ingesting. That is Aushadhi Dharan. External use, it is expected. Mani Dharan also the same external use. Then second is home and dhupan karma here. It may create positive energy and tackle the droplet infection, we can say. It is not proved or promising, but we can use this also to some extent at least. Third is Pranipat, that is bowing to Almighty God, is also one method we can adopt. Gamanadi, meaning is that visiting religious places like temples, Tirthasthanas is very much essential to enhance the inner peace and harmony. So it is very much essential, Gamanadi also. Now you can see all the available classics of Ayurveda, they gave the importance to Purushikar, that is actions done in this life. For instance, in case of Janapada Udvans Vyadhi, or we may say epidemic disease, Panchakarma, that is Ayurvedic purificatory procedures, is mentioned as the prime treatment, which is followed by the Rasayana or the rejuvenating therapies. Now, all these concepts has been summarized in the next slide, which you can see, that is from right from the mantra, Aushadhi, Mani, Mangala, Bali, Upahar, up to Gaman. So all the things I have explained here, which is summarized in front of you. So regarding Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa, various concepts has been came across. I have just quoted here in Kashyap Samhita, one granth is there, which is related to pediatrics, we may say. So one reference I came across while reading that, for asadhya vikaras, or we may say incurable diseases, treatment in the form of Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa and Rasaushadhis, that is mercurial preparations. Rasaushadhi, we are using mercurial preparations are mentioned. So this implies that diseases which are considered to be asadhya could be given a try using this type of treatment. So why I am explaining Daiva Vipashya? As we can see in current COVID crisis, almost no promising effect has been proved by any other therapy. So we may use this Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa, we may use Rasaushadhi also. One another Acharya is there, Harit Acharya. Harit Samhita is a book of 16th to 17th century AD. He has mentioned Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa, and he said that Daiva Vipashya Chikitsa should be followed when all the other medical approaches fail to give result, and which is very, very relevant today. No such promising therapy we have got till now. Now he opines that all the diseases are the resultant of one's own deeds. यानी अपने कर्म की वजह से ही व्याधि होते हैं, ऐसा उन्होंने एक opinion दिया है. So the cure of the disease is dependent on knowingly or unknowingly committing a sin. knowingly or unknowingly committing a sin. It is quoted by Acharya Harit. So for the purpose of compensating this scheme, we can do different things under Daiva Vyapachara Chikitsa. Another Granth, Ashtang Sangra, also quoted some things about Daiva Vyapachara Chikitsa. In Ashtang Sangra, it is quoted as कि this chikitsa acts on the basis of prabhav, that unknown or unexplainable mode of action. Now, what happens usually in other type of treatment, that we eat something in the form of drava or dravya, and it comes into contact with jataragni, and then its desired effect we may see. But what happens in Daiva Vyapachara Chikitsa, as it is a non-pharmacological treatment, and we are using it externally in the form of chanting Mani Mantra Mangal Home, there is no question of any contact with jataragni. So Ashtang Sangra says that it acts on the basis of prabhav. And one more thing in Ashtanga Sangra, it is said that, which is also relevant in the COVID crisis, that as the disease is changing its pattern frequently, one quotation or Chikitsa Sutra has been line of treatment, we may say, or one method or instruction, we may say, Saptahina Gunalabe Kriyam Anyam Prayojet. The line of treatment should be changed if one plan fails. If our one plan or a plan fails, we must use another plan. But when if Saptahina Gunalabe, after 1 week of treatment, if you are getting not desired effect, you may change your treatment plan. So across literature, I have found such things. Now in Garuda Puran, some things I have found like dan offerings, which is a part of Daiva Vyapachara Chikitsa. Now you can see during lockdown, so many of laborers are traveling by or walking, and some people with good intention, they are helping each others. We have seen such things in such kind of things in the COVID crisis. So what is the relevance of dan karma in our ancient, or is it relevant today? So yes, in Garuda Puran, there are three types of dan: Nitya dan, Naimittik dan, and Kamya dan. First dan, Nitya dan, which is done with in a general with whatever is available with a person, he can donate, but without any expected return. In Naimittik dan, the one used for getting rid of sins specifically, and third Kamya dan, it is intended for getting child wealth and heaven. So doing good, that is offering to someone, helping someone in his bad time, is a very very noble thing, and it is mentioned in our ancient texts like Puranas also. So I thought this is important. It should be mentioned. I have explained. So regarding Daivi Vyapachara Chikitsa, I want to explain one experience. In a newspaper, one in a Divya Bhaskar, Doctorni Diary, one blog I read by a doctor gynecologist, very famous gynecologist in Ahmedabad, with Dr. Sharad Thakur. He has shared his experience in that blog. He is an MBBS MD gynecologist. He has shared his experience when he was traveling on bike with his wife, and an incident or accident happened, and his wife's hair stuck in the wheel of that bike, and he faced a very big accident. She was taken to hospital. Then after his condition become worse, and she goes to coma. And doctor said that now it is very difficult to care because the condition is not good. Now the friend of Dr. Sharad Thakurji said that you may use the chanting or mantra chikitsa. Then he went to some Vaidya or mantra for chikitsa. His experience clearly suggests that while he was chanting the mantras, her wife's condition was improving on another side. So we may not deny this Daiva Vyapachara Chikitsa. It is so much relevant in today's scenario. So such kind of experiences are facing by scientists also. Even such a lot of times we can see in movies also, or in actual life also. In fact, when after surgery also, many surgeons, many doctors pray to God also. So we may say there is importance of God or Daiva Vyapachara Chikitsa nowadays also. Now the second triad, that is the Yukti Vyapachara Chikitsa, will move towards that. What is Yukti Vyapachara Chikitsa? That is Punar Ahara Aushadhi Dravyanam Yojana. That is proper dietic and medicine planning. Yukti Vyapachara Chikitsa suggests us that what kind of planning you should do regarding in the context of ahar and aushadhi to get success in the treatment. So let us see. You can see in the screen also ahar and some aushadhi package. So I have combined both these therapies, and since 2 days and in social media, in different health websites, you are almost visiting the websites and seeing, observing the Ayush guidelines. They have given such good guidelines. I have quoted some guidelines here in my presentation also. You can see Ahar Yojana. Before prescribing Ahar to any patient, not in even COVID crisis only, first Vaidya should consider his Agni of the patient. Agni is nothing but the digestive power of a patient. So proper nutrition is to be ensured through freshly cooked hot food, considering individual's Agni or digestive fire. Now there are so many things apart from Agni. Agni is so much important thing, but apart from Agni, various things are there like Ashto Ahar Vidhi Vishesh Aitanas, then Dwadash Ashan Vicharas, Ahar Vidhi Vidhan. Very, we can find very much principles. So many principles are there regarding Ahar Yojana or planning a diet. Now, intake of comfortable warm fluids boiled with medicinal herbs, preferably shunti, dalchini, trikatu, should be used as a regular drink to maintain hydration. Now, this point is had come across one research article when I read, and it is a proven thing. Now, today, whatever I think I have mentioned in my presentation, either they had come across the Ayurvedic literature in classical books, or they had come they are the outcome of research products. Not a single word I have explained by my self here. I am just trying to understand the COVID-19 in terms of Ayurveda here. So another thing, while planning a diet, one should take in consideration is Lagu Supache Ahar, because we have seen Am or Agni Mande in the pathogenesis of COVID-19. So one must prescribe Lagu, easily digestible and freshly prepared Ahar to the patient. It must be light or Lagu Gunatmak. Now, here are some preferable vegetables and fruits which I have mentioned as per the Ministry of Ayush guidelines. That is shigru, that is we may say sargavo, karvela, karela, patol, budag, patha, vastu, tandulia, kakmachi, kapitha, lashun, and some other fruits also, draksha, dadim. Now, if anyone doesn't understand the Sanskrit, then you may take my email ID from organizers, and I will definitely provide you the Gujarati or local names for these vegetables or any kind of help if you require. Now, we have seen Ahar Yojana. What is about Aushadhi Yojana? Now, in this slide also, I have quoted the immunity enhancers or formulations which are prescribed, advised by the Ministry of Ayush. That is Chavanprash, Avaleha, Draksha Avale mainly. It is having a much more important role now because it is mainly used in the Pranavastrotas Vikruti. And as an to increase immunity enhancers, you might have heard in the yesterday's lecture delivered by Professor Anupol sir about the immunity. So we must use this Chavanprash Avale in the patients. Rakshavale, Indukant Grut, Arvindaso, Bala Chaturbhadra Churna, and Haridra Khand. Their doses are mentioned in front of this. And then about Rasayana. What is this Rasayana and whether it is relevant or is it there any scientific evidence for that? So Rasayana as an immunomodulator has scientific evidence. Rasayana, it is a specialty of Ayurveda which deals with measures for rejuvenation. Rasayana therapy comprises lifestyle, diet, and medicine that have properties to enhance growth, retard aging, induce tissue regeneration, and stimulate immunity due to its effects on improving immunity. Rasayan therapy may have direct relevance uh, to prophylaxis and management of SARS-CoV-2 infection. Medicinal plant botanicals used in the Rasayan therapy have been found to be so much effective in immunomodulation. Now, as per the Ministry of Ayush, you can see on these slides, also measure for enhancing immunity, simple Ayurvedic procedures, Ayurvedic immunity enhancing, and what are the actions which are to be done during the dry cough or sore throat. You can have drink warm water throughout the day. Almost all these things have been explained in the earlier lecture in the yesterday's community concept of in the lecture taken by Paul sir in the concept of immunity. So I'm not going to discuss the same thing in today's lecture. So I think we should move on the next slide. Almost in the all immunomodulated drugs, one drug is their ashwagandha, which may be probably effective as a prophylactic and an adjunct treatment of COVID-19. And ashwagandha might be a better and the safer alternative to disease-modifying drugs. Also, it is maybe effective in improving the host immunity through the modulation of key targets relevant to COVID-19. Now we are going to see the scientific evidence regarding the local and prophylactic effect. Is there any scientific evidence? We are using Aushadhi Siddha Jala, mouth rinse, that is Gandush and Kaval. We are using Nasya, steam inhalation, Dhupan. So I think it can be considered as the physiological masks. Because as a prophylactic approach in COVID-19, we can consider this as a physiological mask. Why? Because the if you observe the eyes, nose, and mouth, these are the main portals of entry of droplets carrying the SARS-CoV-2. Prior to the final assault in the lungs, the virus gains access to the throat region, and stays for some hours. The fatty acid coat of the virus adheres to the moist mucosal layers, which helps it gain entry into the cells by binding to specific cell receptors. Ayurveda classics mention several interventions that are likely to target these entry portals, and this may help to improve the innate immunological response of the mucous membrane and may thus inhibit the virus transmission to the lungs. Now, these measures may hence function as physiological masks, barricading the viral invasion. Now, the general measures for respiratory illness described in Ayurvedic texts are also mentioned in the Sushruta Samhita. Now, such as consumption of hot water, that is Aushadhi Siddha Jal throughout a day, hot food, herbal decoctions, gargling with medicated water, steam inhalation, and some other local applications. It may be helpful for symptomatic relief in mild cases. We are talking about the mild cases only here. So, what are these prophylactic, local prophylactic actions or measures we are going to see in a bit detail? First of all, we are going to see how Aushadhi Jal, Siddha Jal, or the medicated water acts as physiological mask. Now, drinking hot or warm water is a very popular home remedy for many ailments. Ayurveda also advocates this as a measure for improving digestion of arm. Arm is considered free radical and a pro-inflammatory product of impaired metabolic disorders. So, and one thing I want to mention, this arm or pro-inflammatory product, it is very much linked or associated to increase the susceptibility of infection, and it is proved in the researches also. Now, that's why we have to use throughout the day Aushadhi Siddha Jal water for consumption. And one thing, traditionally warm water is consumed in many parts of India also for different disorders of fever, inflammation, metabolism, and allergic disorders such as rhinitis, asthma. So several spices that are popular used in the kitchen are added as a single or multiple agents to the boiling water and consumed as medication throughout the day. These spices include जिसे हम आदू कहते हैं, ड्राई जिंजर, मिष्टी मधु, नट ग्रास, साइप्रस मोथा, नागर मोथा कहते हैं उसे, ये भी यूज कर सकते हैं. खस एंड इंजन सरसप roots, then coriander, dhana, fennel seeds, and cinnamon, elchi, and khadir. So we can use different types of medicines for this preparing the Aushadhi Siddha Jalal. Second physiological mask, as we are using this here, is mouth rinse and gargle. In Ayurveda, it is known as kaval and gandush. Now, mouth rinse and gargle. So, warm liquids and oils which are used as gargles, gandush, and mouth rinses as kaval. It is used to clean the mouth and throat thoroughly. This can also have a systemic effect also. Now, the oils or oily decoctions are this cleans the oral cavity, pharynx, and tonsillar area and are likely to coat the mucosa as biofilm and induce additional immunomodulatory, antioxidant, and antimicrobial benefits. So we can understand by using Aushadhi Siddha gel or mouth rinsing gandush or kaval, we may form a biofilm or a coating inside the mucus, which may protect the adherence of the virus. That is, first step we are doing, we are blocking the entry portal of that virus very firstly before that agent assault our lungs. Now, for this mouth rinsing or gandush or kaval, what we can use? We can use haldi, turmeric. We can use zesti madhu. We can use neem, kadwa neem. We can use katheju, khadir, and we may simply use the natural salt also, lavan. It may be used for the preparation of this medicated water for the purpose of gandush kaval, that is gargles and mouth rinsing. Another physiological mask which we can use very safely and very easily is Nasya. Now, what is this Nasya? This Nasya is nothing but the installation of oil drops in the nose, in the nostrils. That is nasal oil application. It is very much important therapy as a preventive therapy, as a local. Then how does this Nasya may act? Similar to gargles and mouth rinses, nasal oil application possibly may form a biofilm in the nose and can help as a barrier to the entry of these virus particles. Now, the last part which you are using as a steam inhalation here as a local therapy is steam inhalation. Now, steam inhalation and hot fermentation provides satisfactory clinical relief in nasal and throat congestion, bronchoconstriction, headache, and sinusitis. Its role in improving nasal condition, improving nasal mucus velocity, and reducing the congestion and inflammation has been reported in different or several clinical studies. So almost we have covered what is the scientific role of this physiological mask like Aushiri gel, Gandush cover, Nasya, and steam inhalation. The last part we can use as a prophylaxis is Dhupan. What is this Dhupan? Fumigation of the house every evening with antimicrobials by burning the medicinal plants such as neem, sarshap, loban, karpur, ghee, and aparajita churna, which is mentioned in also Ayurveda text in Ashtangruda Chikitsa, as per the availability which we can use by sitting just simply at the home. So almost we have covered the local part here. Now, what is the systematic prophylaxis? Now, in Ayurveda, it is advocated several non-pharmacological measures that are critical to overall health, including diet, nidra, that is sleep, mental relaxation, lifestyle, dinacharya-related behavior, yoga. Now, so many type of studies have endorsed the role of yoga, breathing techniques, pranayam, asanas, postures, and procedures in improving lung health and exercise tolerance. So we may use as a systematic prophylaxis also. Now almost the recommended diet we have finished the part, so I should skip this. We may use. So in the next slide, I have taken some medicines which are prescribed by the Ministry of Ayush. If a person is suffering from fever, we may use Mahasudarshan Ganvati, then Sanjeevanivati, Sanchimanivati, Talisadi Churna with Esti Madhu Churna, and we can use Sitovaladi Churna. We can use lozenges for chewing purpose throughout day, and they are Yoshadivati, Lavungadivati, Esti Madhu Ganvati. And for drinking purpose, we may use Kada, that is Pathyadi Kashaya, Guduchadi Kashaya, we may use Bharagyadi Kashaya. Almost you can get the details from website of Ministry of Ayush also. If someone is suffering from Kashwas or dyspnea, he or she may use Trikatu Siddha gel for drinking, Vyagri Haritaki, Agastya Rasayan, Kantakari Avle, gargling part we have seen, just Amritarist he can use almost 20 ml in equal amount of water, Shadanga Pani we can use, we have seen gargling, then Shwas Kutharas we may use with Naradi Lakshmi Vilas Ras. Then one thing I want to share with you that if you are using Kashaya here, we must take into consideration the condition of the patient, the prakriti of the patient, whether he is suffering from the jwar or not, and after that we can use the Kashaya from for that patient also. Two references from Charaka and Harita I have came across. One is from Charak's Chikitsa. If you are using Kashaya in Tarun jwar, which is detrimental and it may block the doshas leading to the Vishamjwar. The shlok is Tabbente Navipachente Kurvanti Vishamjwar. It may lead to the Vishamjwar. So we must take a precaution while using. Definitely, it is a very, very useful. So much, several studies have proved that Kasha using is very much has shown its drastic effects. In Harit also he is saying, न कषायं प्रशंसन्ति नराणां तरुणे ज्वरे कषायेन कुलीभूता दोषाः जेतु सुदुस्तरा इति. So we must take the precaution to be exercised while treating COVID in first week particularly. There could be a fair chance that it may alter its deposition and may become resistant to specific antiviral treatment. Working on innate immunity, it seems better approach here. So we have to use, we may use definitely, but we have to examine the person to whom we are giving. Now, third part of triad of this Chikitsa is Sattva Vajay Chikitsa, which is known as the withdrawal of mind from harmful things. The word Sattva refers to man here, and Avajay means conquering you or taking win over your mind. Now, a person is called healthy not only when Dosh, Dhatu, Mala, and Agni are in equilibrium condition as per the definition of health as per Ayurveda, but there is equal share of Manas condition also. in the presence of Atma, that too, for proper and healthy state of Sharir and Indriya. Now, as per the definition, ahitebhyo arthebhyo. What is the meaning of ahit? Something which is not unwholesome or not good, and artha, that is subjects of indriyas or your perceptive organs, vishyas. Artha, it is widely variety of objects. Each indriya has its own object that only can he can pursue. Now, one basic concept is regarding the occurrence of disease, that is asatmendriya artha, sanyog is here, that is incompatible contact of indriya artha, is regarded as one of the principal uh, cause of disease. Now, it can be inferred that artha can be either panchendriya or mano artha, first of all. Before explaining asatmendriya sanyog, one thing taken in mind, we must think. Now, artha can be either panchendriya artha or mano artha. But in Sattva Vajay, it is quite logical or to consider mano artha here. Though it may not be objectionable to include panchendriya, because ultimately it is sattva that materializes the perception of the objects and not the indriyas. So it is regarded as one of the principal cause of the disease, asatmendriya sanyog. So avoidance of excessive or deficient or erroneous way means hina mithya or atiyog, or uses of chintam, vicharyam, vuyam, deyam, sankalpa should serve to cure the psychiatric disorders. Because in COVID, you can observe due to loneliness, due to lockdown, many patients are feeling depressed also. So for that particularly persons, we may use this Sattva Vajay Chikitsa. There is very much a role of this Sattva Vajay Chikitsa in current condition. For example, if you think of Asatmendriya Sanyog, sitting in darkness, we may consider as Hin Yog, that for Chakshurendriya leads to abnormal thought process and mind, which may lead to different type of manasruk. So by sitting in dark or in lonely in home, one may get depressed. And in Ayurveda, there is one concept that Vishad, Dukh may increase the disease. Vishado Roga Vardhana. So we must utmost take care must be taken that patient must be happy while treating. So, Charaka prescribes the line of treatment for Manas Rog, that is Jnana, Vijnana, Dhairya, Smriti, and Samadhi. So, Jnana is nothing but spiritual knowledge or true understanding. Vijnana means specific knowledge or scriptural knowledge. Dhairya is patience or controlling power. Smriti is memory or recall. Samadhi is nothing but mental equanimity, meditation, or concentration. Now, what is the meaning of Manonigraha as per the definition of Sattva Vajay Chikitsa? Here, by regulation, the thought process Chinte, we may consider Chintan, and it is very essential time to change the thought process. We must think on the guidelines provided by the Ministry of Ayush. Why this social distancing has been said, why to stay in home. This is the point of Chintan, or we must think. And second is Vichar, by analyzing the thoughts and ideas, that we must sit at home for the benefit of self only. Now, we must understood for here that our health is our responsibility. So, for this purpose, the Sattva Chikitsa we must understand. Third is Uya, by channelizing the presumptions with logical reasoning. Fourth is Dheya, by polishing the objectives, by concentrating on it. Dheya. Last is Sankalpa, that is by proper guidance and advice for taking right decision. As earlier or just few minutes before I said Sankalpa, Vijay Sankalp. So, what is this Vijay Sankalp? We have to follow the guidelines, that is social distancing, hand sanitizing, wearing a mask while moving outside. So we have to make sankalp. So this is very much relevant point of Sattva Vajay Chikitsa, which is mentioned in the Ayurveda. So in I must say this Sattva Vajay helps to attain a stable and harmonious equilibrium between a man and his environment needed to reduce man's vulnerability to mental diseases and to permit him to lead a more productive and satisfying life. Now, Acharya Charak of Ayurveda has mentioned the following line of treatment or management of Manas Rog or depression, which resembles the technique of Sattva Chikitsa, that is Ahitanam Anupasevanam, Hitanam Upasevanam, Trivarga Anvekshanam, Tadvidya Seva, Atmadi Vigyanam. So, actually, this is a very much descriptive part. It is not just easy to explain in 1 or 2 minutes during presentation. So, I have just quoted these 4 points for the Ayurveda background people. They may understand more as compared to allopathy background doctors. Now I can say the Sattva Vajay Chikitsa, whatever we have seen, it plays a significant role in the maintenance of a harmonious state between these three important factors, that is Dhi, Dhruti, Smriti, intellect, patience, and memory. Because we can understand सभी व्याधियों का जो मूल कहा गया है, प्रज्ञापराध कहा गया है, असत्मेंद्रिय अर्थियों का भी. व्हाट इज प्रज्ञापराध? धी धृति स्मृति विभ्रष्टः कर्म यत अकुरुते शुभम प्रज्ञापराधम तम विद्यात सर्वदोष प्रकोपनम. So we must use sattva-vaje chikitsa to prevent this prajnaparad, which may lead to adharma and which is the root cause of the janapadodons. Okay, so ultimately leading to a happy, healthy state of the individual, we can use this sattva-vaje chikitsa. Now, as explained, yoga plays a very significant role for maintaining the mental health because this is the scientific proved data which you can see on the slide. Poor mental health conditions, including stress and depression, are known to increase the risk of acute respiratory infections. So we can adopt the different yoga measures. Now, very important, rising numbers of COVID-19 cases and deaths possibly raise stress and anxiety, while loneliness and depressive feelings are likely due to mandatory social distancing measures. Consideration of the mind is another distinction of Ayurveda and Yoga. Several measures for mental health are described, including pranayam and meditation. So, pranayam is known to improve the lung function. So, I must say the role of meditation or pranayam is very important for managing the depression. Now, and meditation is found to reduce inflammation markers. One clinical study regarding yoga suggests that meditation is very much effective to reduce the inflammation markers and influence markers of virus specific immune response. If anyone wants the references, I may provide reference at the last also. Lastly, yoga, including meditation, could be a simple and useful home-based practice for the prevention and post-recovery management of COVID-19. Now, after treatment of patient, after successful treatment of COVID also, many patients are facing domestic violence or home violence, their neighbor violence. Neighbors or colony members are not easy to accept or adopt the patients who are treated successfully also. So for that, patients or another for other people also, they may adopt these yoga techniques also. Now, few things which we have to accept or do's and don'ts are there. As I just said, health is individual's responsibility. So what are the do's which you can use by sitting at home? Exercise and meditation. Lastly, daily practice of yoga and pranayam for at least 30 minutes, and which is also mentioned by the advice by the Ministry of Ayush. We must practice this. Now, another what things we can use: social distancing and cleanliness. Now, one slok, very important slok I have came across in Charaka. Atmanam eva manyat kartaram sukha dukkhayoh tashmat shreyskaram margam pratipadde no trased. That is the evidence. What we can say? One should hold himself responsible. Atmanam manyat kartaram sukha dukkhayoh. That is, one should hold himself responsible for his happiness and miseries. Therefore, one should follow the mark or the path which is Shreyskar and which is for the welfare without apprehensions. Tasmat Shreyskaram Margam Pratipadde. One must use Shreyskar Marg. What is the Shreyskar Marg? Simple Ayush or ministry or government guidelines we should adopt regarding social distancing and cleanliness. This is again my personal urge. We must follow the social distancing and cleanliness. Though lockdown has been finished, almost all the things are started. Still, we have to maintain the social distancing, cleanliness, because prajna paradat sambhute vyadav karmaje atmana na abhishanse budho devan pitrun na pi rakshasan. All the diseases, whether it may be karmas, that is due to misdeeds, or atmaj, due to oneself, they are both caused due to intellectual errors. So that is due to buddhi ka aparadh जिसकी वजह से होते हैं. So the gods, we must never always blame the gods, ancestors, microbe, viruses. Shall not be blamed for any disease. It is individual responsibility also. We must take some responsibility regarding social distancing and cleanliness. So at the last, I am going to conclude my presentation, and I lastly am very much thankful to Director SIHW and Director Ayush Madam and our Principal Dr. Bharat Sir that he for providing me such a nice platform and sharing my thoughts, rather saying the lecture, I may say this type of discussion or talk. So this session is open for question and answers. If you have any questions, you may ask now.
જી સર, ખૂબ જ અગત્યની માહિતી આપે શેર કરેલી છે. તો દરેક પાર્ટિસિપન્ટને વિનંતી કે તમારા ડિસ્પ્લે પર 3 ડોટ વાળું એક આઇકોન છે, એના પર તમે ક્લિક કરશો એટલે Q&A નો ઓપ્શન આવશે. તો તમે પોતાનો ક્વેશ્ચન્સ એમાં શેર કરી શકો છો. અને જ્યારે ક્વેશ્ચન્સ તમે ટાઈપ કરો છો ત્યારે જે ઓપ્શન છે એ ઓલ પેનલિસ્ટ રાખવું જરૂરી છે, જેનાથી પેનલિસ્ટ ક્વેશ્ચન્સ જોઈ શકશે અને તમને એમનો આન્સર આપી શકશે. તો દરેક પાર્ટિસિપન્ટને રિક્વેસ્ટ છે કે જો કોઈ ક્વેશ્ચન હોય તો Q&A ના બ્લોગમાં જઈને ક્વેશ્ચન પૂછી શકે છે. ઘણા કોમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ આવેલા છે કે વેરી નાઇસ પ્રેઝન્ટેશન, કવર ઓલ પોઈન્ટ્સ. તમે આજનું સેશન યુટ્યુબ પર પણ જોઈ શકશો. 1-2 દિવસમાં યુટ્યુબ પર મુકાઈ જશે. યુટ્યુબ પર SIHFW પરિવારની જે સાઇટ છે એના પર જઈને તમે આજનું સેશન રિપીટ પણ જોઈ શકો છો. જે લોકો આજનું સેશન જોવામાં ચૂક થઈ ગઈ હોય અથવા તો રહી ગયા હોય તો યુટ્યુબ પર જઈને SIHFW ચેનલ પર જોઈ શકો છો. જ્યોતિ હાથી મેડમ કહે છે ગુડ સેશન. દીપ્તિ પુરાની નાઇસ લેક્ચર. સારા એવા કોમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ્સ આવી રહ્યા છે.
So thank you to all listeners.
તો કોઈ ક્વેશ્ચન્સ આવી રહ્યા નથી વેટ કર્યા છતાં. તો આજે આપણું સેશન આજે અહીંયા અંત કરીએ છીએ. થેન્ક યુ સો મચ ડોક્ટર દિનેશ સર કે તમે પોતાનો કિંમતી સમય આપ્યો અને ખૂબ જ સારું લેક્ચર પ્રેઝન્ટ કર્યું. એ બદલ રાજ્ય આરોગ્ય પરિવાર કલ્યાણની સંસ્થા તમારો ખૂબ જ આભાર માને છે.
Sir, I want to add one thing here or share one thing.
Yes, sir.
If, as I know, many doctors are from allopathic background, and this today's topic is so much relating to Ayurveda. So, if anyone doesn't understood any term regarding Ayurveda, they may use my email ID, which you can share freely for their valuable feedback. Also, there any questions, I am ready to answer anytime.
Sure.
And you may provide my email also, sir. And my heartfelt thanks to organizers, especially Lipi ma'am, to you also, sir. And such kind of collaborations and initiatives we are expecting from SIHFW in future also. So thank you very much once again, sir.
ઓકે, થેન્ક યુ સર. એન્ડ બધા જ પાર્ટિસિપન્ટને સ્ટે સેફ, સ્ટે હેલ્ધી. અને આ સાથે આજે આપણો વેબિનાર પૂર્ણ કરીએ છીએ. થેન્ક યુ.
Okay, sir. Should I leave the meeting, sir?
યસ સર. યા.
Thank you, sir.
યા.